Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boss Battle Round 5. And I am here with Kat. I wouldn't expect any less, Kat. Crackaton. I wonder who's facing who today. And Pleasant.
HR's on our asses again.
Oh, gosh. We're an interesting bunch together, aren't we?
Yes, we
We
are.
sure are four of a kind.
Yeah.
That's a full house.
I mean, one of us could be Goma, one of us could be Twin Rover, one of us could be Baronade, and one of us could be Volvagia. So there you go. But yeah, so how is everybody today? Anything else you all want to say before we get this started?
Not really. I think we
Yeah.
got some pretty good matches tonight, from the sound of things.
Good. So
Oh, I do have something to say. Remember to smash that like button. No.
no! What you got to do is smash that subscribe button. Smash it so hard that it needs a fairy revive. There you go.
Give us your money, and by us, I mean Goron.
No, I'm Pleasant. I don't give Pleasant money somehow. There you go. Give all your money to Pleasant. But yeah,
Damn it.
so
Forfeit all worldly possessions to Pleasant.
yeah, exactly.
That
So
meme.
so
And I will be the one taking the other worldly possessions.
okay. Good.
Wait, I'm the ghost though. That doesn't make sense.
So, in the left corner, we have Dark Bongo Bongo. In the right corner, we have Bongo Bongo. And just to, we might as well, because I'm going to assume everybody's seen everything up to round 5 in general if you're seeing this as a series, but how many fights has Dark Bongo Bongo had so far? Well, Darkling?
This is his third, I believe, because we had Volvagia fight. The Morpha fight was the previous one, I think. We had the Twin Rover versus Bongo Bongo between those. And now we have Dark Bongo Bongo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, only 3 out of 5. I mean, we could almost call this Dark Link Battle round 3, but you know. So yeah, Dark Bongo Bongo. Again, all abilities are pretty much question mark. Dark Bongo Bongo has Doppelganger equals on most stats, and Darkness Affinity B. Again, I would think that the Darkness Affinity B would be like linked up with the Doppelganger effectively, so higher stats might be slightly harder for Dark Bongo Bongo to effectively mimic. Yeah, I don't see too many ways because again, it's a mirror match of Dark Bongo Bongo winning this. But does anybody have any specific possibilities or scenarios that Dark Bongo Bongo might win?
If we go to this specific manga canon,
Yes, you did say, didn't you? Oh gosh. Well, do go on, Kat. Don't leave us waiting on this
well, if the
specific
audience
manga.
wants to know, that there happens to be a specific Ocarina of Time manga where I would assume for saving up time, they just removed Bongo Bongo and had Dark Link instead. But the Dark Link was way more powerful than in any other iteration, since I would say that it would have had a Darkness Affinity S, and it could form itself freely. It created Epona when Epona wasn't around.
Oh, yeah. So, if we are talking that specific one, but I would count that as an outlier. The thing is that Dark Bongo Bongo would be a more eviler version of Bongo Bongo, but just changing now, showing Bongo Bongo. Bongo Bongo doesn't seem to be the type of boss you take out for a cup of tea with, would you? Just levying it here to everybody.
I mean, I think the general public would actually faint if not have collective strokes here. Except
Yeah.
they wouldn't be able to see him actually, so never mind. You actually
I
could
mean,
take
you know
him.
what? I'm gonna straight up say it. I let him smash my bongos.
Well, here
Oh,
we
no.
go. Here we go. Take me out to a cup of tea first, please. And I was even debating that, bless and you're just yeah, okay. And that was boss versus boss battle. It seems as
can't
though
follow
Bongo Bongo just wins on being sexier, I guess. See you next time. That was the whole point of this stream.
Well, you know what? The people can do their research on art for that if they want to.
No, they don't want. Don't.
Yeah, they should.
But
Probably.
good, thank you. But yeah, I mean, health A, power B, intelligence B, mobility B, dark affinity A, invisibility A. I'd say that Dark Bongo Bongo could theoretically mimic a lot of this, but my concerns would be that Dark Bongo Bongo couldn't mimic that higher health, nor could have that higher dark affinity, or even invisibility. What are we thinking about that? Justin?
Since the dark version can never exceed its own darkness, nor it cannot become light. We
Yeah.
would see a lesser copy, so it would be a more faded Xerox copy of a completely blank image.
Oh, thanks for stealing my bit, Cat.
Yeah.
No. That's another thing. That's gonna come in another form, which it's more precise to what you said when we get there, without spoiling what that was.
You know what, Kat, you did steal Crackaton's bit a bit. Crackaton, I know,
That's a different one.
I know. You.
That's fine. It's fine.
It was similar.
Plagiarism's legal.
It's all cool, but Crackaton, if you want to say something similar, although you actually said it about a different possible matchup, which is quite funny because we were just talking about them all before. Sorry, Kat.
Yeah, I honestly, in this case, Bongo Bongo literally is the shadow, the true self. Like, there's not much that a pale imitation of him can do. I'm starting to notice a trend of mirror matches are honestly going to more likely end in draws or Dark losing. It is what it feels like,
Yeah.
at least. But there may be a couple of situations where Dark has a good advantage. I won't say which ones, but
Yeah.
we may see Dark have an actual fighting chance to get a win on the board, maybe potentially.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We're not sure at this point.
I say Dark's best chance of victory is if he has a little thing called blind sight with all this invisibility going around. It may just end in a draw otherwise. We don't know how much actual engagement's going to start going on.
I mean, the thing is that how I'd assume this would be that because Dark Bongo Bongo is mimicking Bongo Bongo's invisibility, it's like two people wearing sheets, effectively, I guess. And it's like, I know your tricks, you know what I mean? Basically, I think that Dark Bongo Bongo would be able to see Bongo Bongo in some form. So in a sense, I don't think
be able to see each other technically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say see, but since they are both dark creatures, they would just know each other.
So here's my logic. You use the lens of truth, it reveals anything invisible, whether it's walls or Bongo Bongo or whatever. So consider this. Bongo Bongo surely can see himself, right?
I mean, unless he's a vampire. Stuff we didn't know.
Vampires can still see themselves, they just can't see the reflection.
Oh yeah, good
I
point.
didn't know Bongo Bongo was a La Sombra.
Basically, the thing is, especially if you look at his eye and then look at the lens of truth, very similar.
Yeah.
And I think there might be a link there. Oh, God damn it. I said the L word. I'd be proud of that joke if I made it intentionally, but I didn't, so I'm not. But I would think that Bongo Bongo has some ability to potentially like see his own invisibility, and as such, it's probably because it's the same invisibility on Dark Bongo Bongo. He should be able to see those same invisible things. I'd also assume he's able to see all the invisible walls and stuff in the dungeon because, I mean, that'd be really
Yeah.
inconvenient for him if he couldn't.
Yeah, I really do think so. Okay, then.
So I think the invisibility will literally not factor into this at all. If you ask me. But we need to agree on that beforehand on whether or not they can see each other through the invisibility.
I think we'll just have to see.
On lore standpoint, like I could go into a long theory rank about, especially with the lens and everything, but the gist, what the lore has pretty much has flat out stated, even though it's still on the word of implication, is that the side necessary isn't necessary in this, and on top, Bongo Bongo might be the one that have created things to be invisible in the first place.
The way that I could see it, no pun intended, would be that I would just say that Bongo Bongo, like, the invisibility is effectively an ability to obscure oneself. Like, I'd say that Dark Bongo Bongo would be able to, you know, peel back a lot of it, but there'd be a bit of a blur to Bongo Bongo, if that makes sense.
Maybe it kind of they would look like the way that Dark Link looks in the game. If you switch back over to his screen,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
we can show people what I mean by this.
Yeah.
Dark Link is basically just the same model, but with opacity reduced, and then the texture is just flat black.
Yeah.
So I would assume that they both kind of look that way to each other.
Yeah.
So that could make them still blend into the darkness, but they are technically some amount visible if they were to get too much out of the darkness, or if they get too close. You know how in the darkness, like when you get, if it's not full pitch black darkness, you can kind of see things that are immediately in front of you because there's enough light to travel that short distance. But the farther away they are, the more obscured they are. I would say once they get into close range with each other, they should be able to see each other's like silhouettes.
Yeah.
That would be how I would see that. Which means they're gonna have to stay up close and personal.
Yeah. Definitely on that one. And yeah, is there anything more to say about both Dark Bongo Bongo and Bongo Bongo?
I think all I can say is from a non-canon perspective, and with somebody who's not as familiar with the lore, I think all of these are just going to be anomalous factors, at least on the outside viewing in. So we're probably going to just have to see how it plays out to really see how it works.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going back to the debate screen here, where we're going to go for the battle itself. Now, I am going to say privately to all of you, I'm going to message you as well, Pleasant, don't get me wrong. And this has been discussed a little bit before, but basically I'm going to say what my opinion is, which I believe we're in occurrence, but we'll need to double check.
Let me move over to the correct place of Discord.
Okay. So I've done that there. And again, we have to put this as a sort of agreement. And as I said, we've discussed it before, but I'm just putting it here.
Also, I'll say this: as far as voicing or making decisions, I'm not going to do that for either of the characters in this because I'm going to be too busy having to give us battle music.
Okay.
I got to focus on that. It's important. I'm contributing. I swear to God.
Wait and stop being a freeloader by giving a live commentary.
If you can find a way. Don't worry,
I will
I've
try.
enjoyed you. But yeah. But yeah,
I forget who
I'm
was Bongo Bongo in the Twin Rover fight. Was that Cat or was it Goron?
I can't remember. I think it was Cat because Cat. I don't know. Cat just chooses the evil characters. Okay.
I mean, they're all evil. They're all evil. They're literally all evil,
Mm,
except for Baggy in the
yeah,
comic or in the manga. But that's really sad.
yeah. I'm just trying to think. So, was I Dark Morpher last time? Just to clarify.
I think
No,
so.
That were me.
Okay,
Or-
so this is the problem. So were you both Dark Morpher and Bongo Bongo in previous Cat?
Yep.
I think he's
Oh.
dark in almost everything except
Yeah.
for Dark Volvagia. I think Dark Volvagia was you, maybe.
Okay. So, Krakadun, you do the bongoing.
Yes.
Let me see. Well, Kat, you have a choice. I can do the other one, Plesson, if you want to. I think you'll understand with providing commentary here, so I'll let you run with it effectively. But yeah, which one do you want? Dark Bongo Bongo or Bongo Bongo?
As for
Okay.
like who I'm
I'm saying a few things in my head in the time. I'll be role playing as either Dark Bongo Bongo or Bongo Bongo, and Kat has to decide which one you'll choose effectively. So that's the first thing.
Wait, what?
Kat, I've confused
look, I just have a
everybody.
table slightly off screen. I'm setting it up now. You know.
But yeah, so Kat, considering Krakatoa and Plesson are out, do you want to be Dark Bongo Bongo or Bongo Bongo, Cat?
Well, the thing is, I would say Bongo Bongo is most like more likely my character, but I've been taking the doppelganger's position on almost everything, so I should continue with that. Plus, I know very well what would be the very first action the clone would take.
Oh,
Okay.
excellent.
Well, okay then. I'll be Bongo Bongo. Plesson, if you want to put insight into all of this, that's more than welcome. Just interject whenever you feel like it's sort of best. But yeah, so to clarify, because we haven't clarified on this, the arena, again, it will be something in which, both worlds will meld together. So it'll be Bongo Bongo's arena, and then Dark Bongo Bongo will replicate that to the best of their ability. So there'll just be one big bongo in the middle. Sorry, drum in the middle. And there'll be two Bongo Bongos effectively. And there'll be one area cast in shadow, and which is Bongo Bongos, and one slightly less, I'd assume, which is Dark Bongo Bongo. So that's the world. Dark Bongo Bongo sort of materializes in, and yeah. Well, fair enough. We can sort of, well, yeah. So that's the story behind it. And yeah, what would you do first, Kat?
The clone could not start this, I would have to say.
Okay, so the clone takes its time. Well, Bongo Bongo starts bongoing. Starts hitting on the drum. Just going, "Who are you?" Sort of in their mind. Yeah. So that's what Bongo Bongo does.
And here comes the response. Instead of the expected responsing of playing the bongos normally, the clone would play the bongos on the actual bongos side, aka playing his bongos, not the clones.
Okay.
If you
Just
can become more evil than something, you will become just a more petty version of that.
Okay. Bongo Bongo then we'll try to slap basically Dark Bongo Bongo's hand away. Effectively. Is what Bongo Bongo would do. Yeah, do. So what does Dark Bongo Bongo do as a reaction?
It would be the opposite hand slapping the opposite hand on the other side.
They're just doing the secret
Okay.
handshake at this point.
Well, given everything that happens, we've got the actions here, Pleasant. What would effectively happen between Dark Bongo Bongo and Bongo Bongo? Like, how much damage would each of them take and whatnot, so...
That's a good question. I feel as if I am out of my depth. I agreed to be hype man. No.
But yeah. Well, I can effectively say what would be on my mind is that, again, Dark Bongo Bongo, because it would be mimicking actions, Dark Bongo Bongo would be taking more damage than Bongo Bongo in this one action. But yeah, if you want to hype up those actions, by all means, go now, Blessing.
I admit my improv is not coming to me right now.
You know. Oh, no worries, mate.
My plastic table is not giving me the...
Yeah, got it. We should just communicate in table hits now.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I would say that considering the slap Bongo, yeah, Bongo Bongo would recoil his hand and just keep waving it about because it was like that was quite a big slap, really. So what would Dark Bongo Bongo do?
Well, what would be more of a petty response to someone recoiling than doing the exact same hit again, the exact same spot?
Okay, so that's what Dark Bongo Bongo is doing. Okay, so yeah. So in that case, Bongo Bongo would then follow up on that by hitting Dark Bongo Bongo's hand that's... I assume Dark Bongo Bongo's hand is the one that's not being used for the attack here, so...
So
Well-
as you can see here, folks at home, we've got a very intricate game of patty cake going on right now.
But yeah, Bongo Bongo would, of course, go for the one that Bongo Bongo would assume would be hurting whatever hand that was, effectively. Trying to instigate some more pain during the time that Dark Bongo Bongo is trying to hit Bongo Bongo's hand.
Well, the clone does not have, let's just say, the initiative nor the ability to do much about preventing being hit, of like having that hit go in
Okay.
on their side. So
Yeah, so... But, yeah, so that's sort of that stage of actions. Bongo Bongo's... Can we determine which hands all of these are, by the way? I'd assume Bongo Bongo's right hand would be hurting quite a lot, being hit twice. Would that be
Yeah,
okay to say?
we can say that because there is not knowing which hand of Bongo Bongos would be dominant because they have been shown to be used at the exact same rate, so we can
Yeah.
assume that it could be either one.
Yeah, so with Dark Bongo Bongo, which hand is the one that's weakened?
Like, I would say that the attacks would have been mirrored. So
Yeah.
whichever was the original hand hit on the other side would be the same hand that would now be
So-
be hurt the most.
Both right hands. Okay, then. So, yeah. Where are we now with regards to actions? So, both right hands of both Bongo Bongo and Dark Bongo Bongo are both hurting quite massively. Dark Bongo Bongo's more than Bongo Bongo. yeah, I think it's on you as Dark Bongo Bongo.
And at this point, the most common aspect of Bongo's attack pattern would be try to be copied, and the clone would try to fade in to the shadows.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Bongo Bongo would be having enough of this by now. Like, how Bongo Bongo's sort of thinking is like, oh, something, evil like me, sort of thing, just going, okay, maybe this is something I could work with and create even more evil. But at this point, it's like, arg, menace sort of thing, basically. So yeah, Bongo Bongo would just try punching straight for the body of Dark Bongo Bongo. Bongo Bongo would just be like, let's hit where it hurts, So.
I can't see either of these guys, but I can hear a lot of punching going on.
But yeah, I need a ruling
Just
sort
a
of on that.
bystander in a stand fight.
Yeah.
He's just like tied up in chains, hanging upside down, like the guy in the the Coliseum of Fools in Hollow Knight. That one bug
Yeah.
who's just like, "Oh hey, here's how you sign up." Just like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, dude, I'm fine. I'm just chilling."
But yeah, so I'd need somebody's opinion on this. I could rule it myself, but I don't like ruling these things myself all the time. So I need somebody's opinion on whether it hits and how it hits. Because Dark Bongo Bongo is basically is harder to see at this moment by trying to hide, so the hit would not necessarily come off. But
No. The thing is, the clone would not try to hide; it would try to blend into the shadows,
yeah,
aka becoming one with them.
yeah,
But the big thing is, the real one could just make their hand blend in there as well.
yeah, true. So yeah, well, I'd say on that one if I was gonna say myself, but I feel like I'm cheating here. I'd say that Bongo Bongo would be able to knock a body sort of hit. And yeah, Bongo Bongo would probably know this and try to, although if you're not allowing this retrospective, probably try to obfuscate their hands anyways. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah, that's how I would see it happening.
Yeah.
The real one has way more of a mastery of combining with not just shadows but darkness itself.
But, yeah. So I'm just trying to think. So yeah. What would Dark Bongo Bongo do now? We'll see if there's any patterns and then move forward from that.
So taking in the hit, most likely being pushed further away by that hit as well, the clone would continue and blend into the shadows.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, Bongo Bongo would just do the same thing and just, try to punch Dark Bongo Bongo, effectively using the same tactic. This time changing up so it's the right hand that's the that's healed a little bit. I say healed, you know what I mean. The pain is less, basically, just going, this is what you did to my hand.
And I would see that response hit would be something that the clone in essence could not perceive, since Bongo Bongo would not normally have instincts of fighting something that has the same abilities as themselves.
Yeah. So I'd assume that's basically just 2 hits on Dark Bongo Bongo. Again, the health is sort of wheedling away. Yeah, so well, I don't know what else to say. The problem is like a lot of fights here, it's an issue with repetition. Bongo Bongo has a lot of health. And so does Dark Bongo Bongo, but the power that Bongo Bongo has is just slightly more. Well, I say slightly more, considerably more than what Dark Bongo Bongo has. So, let's say another few sort of rounds of this go. Maybe Dark Bongo Bongo does get a few sort of slaps on Bongo Bongo. Maybe the hands or something like that, But Dark Bongo Bongo's sort of, fading a little bit. Are we happy with that? Because otherwise I could repeat this constantly, effectively. Are we happy with that situation?
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah.
It would be just a lot of aura, but in a
or,
surprisingly slower speeds.
okay. So now, Bongo Bongo would do this same move on Dark Bongo Bongo, just punching straight at the body. And in my mind, after so many sort of punches, Bongo Bongo is actually only using like one hand here. Bongo Bongo's left because the right is destroyed by Dark Bongo Bongo. But like that's a small price to pay effectively because Bongo Bongo's taken no hits to their own body is how I'd sort of count it. And like Dark Bongo Bongo just gets completely stunned. And Bongo Bongo just and forgive me for this, but I have to be like I would consider Bongo Bongo would be, but just try to sort of grip the top bit out from Dark Bongo Bongo. Just try to grasp it and grip it out, just as a slow and painful sort of end to Dark Bongo Bongo. And yeah, that's how I'd say it would go. We'd say Dark Bongo Bongo is defeated by Bongo Bongo then?
Yep.
Bongo, 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 bongo.
And is there anything else to say in this? I mean, how did it look from the bystanders' side? That one person.
There's a lot of
We'll give you the lens of truth. There you go.
You gave it to me after the fight. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Really
after the fight. Hey, look, you made a new friend. It's Bongo Bongo. Congratulations. Good luck. But
Bongo
Yeah.
Bongo's just like, hey, thanks for cheering me on, dude.
Don't mention it.
but
He gives the like rock hands, the devil horns,
yeah. But yeah. Let me just
and you were
think.
forever subjected to his drumming until you starved to death 2 days later.
Sad end, really. But yeah. Anyway, so like we discussed, the main thing here is that Bongo Bongo has Darkness Affinity A. Dark Bongo Bongo has Darkness Affinity B. And Dark Bongo Bongo is more petty than Bongo Bongo is. I mean, I would say that Bongo Bongo with Intelligence B, and this might not be the best ruling, would perhaps not see Dark Bongo Bongo necessarily as something to automatically defeat. But of course, Dark Bongo Bongo just being that pain in Bongo Bongo meant that Bongo Bongo just had to defeat him. And at that point, Bongo Bongo just went, I'm going to cause as much pain and misery to Dark Bongo Bongo as is possible. And to be honest with you, it should be happy that, well, yeah. So Bongo Bongo wins this engagement. And yeah, does anybody else want to say anything before the end of this round 5?
I did try to look at multiple places just to see how like exactly the power levels and scaling would go. And the only place where I could find where the Dark would have had the greater advantage were that one particular manga, and that's all. There were no
Yeah.
other sources.
Okay. And Plessin and Krakaton?
I think those are pretty clean cut to me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any scenario where Dark manages to beat the true self.
Yeah. Okay, then. Well, for boss battle round 5, we're saying goodbye. And I'm saying goodbye for this. Although, I'll let you know a secret on this boss battle round 5. This is a double header. So, we'll be seeing you right away in like 2 minutes this time for boss battle round 6. But it'll probably be like a week your time. So, I mean, unless you're seeing it live with us. So, yay.
As Crimbus, and a lot of people are going to be spending that time with their families, not watching YouTube videos of people talking about fictional scenarios of fictional characters having fictional fights.
I thought that was the Christmas spirit of watching fictional bosses doing fictional fights. But yeah, so everybody want to say goodbye for this, and then I'll give it like 30 seconds or whatnot just to convert between them, yeah? So bye from me.